Hello everyone, welcome to our program Pandemic Review. We all know we are in a very difficult situation at the moment. All the countries in the world have been struggling to overcome this pandemic, which has influenced our day-to-day activities, living status, living style, everything has been changed. From our program Pandemic Review, we are ready to discuss about the economy of Sri Lanka after the pandemic. When we are talking about the economy, the question that will first come to your mind is how bad the impact to our economy. All the industries in Sri Lanka have been badly affected. Garment industry, tourism industry, export industry, agricultural industry, they are getting more attention. But the problem is there are some industries in Sri Lanka they haven't received due consideration. Among all these industries, we are going to discuss about today the cinema industry. We are going to review about cinema industry with a senior iconic personality in the cinema industry. Let's see who's going to be that iconic personality.
Born in 15 November 1946, Dr. Somaratne Dissanayake is a well-known and leading director, producer and a screenwriter. Having studied science subjects in school, he obtained the first degree from London University in medical radiography. Later, he went to earning his master's in performing arts from University of Sydney, Australia. Without stopping from there, he also obtained his PhD in cinema from the University of Colombo. His beloved wife is a well-known producer and television host Renuka Balasurya, and his debut in the Sinhala film industry was in 2000 with the controversial but blockbuster film Saroja. His works include Saroja, Punchi Suranganawe, Suryarana, Samanalakatu, Siri Rajasiri, Bindu, Siri Parakum, Sarigama and Tsunami. He is the president of Filmmakers Guild of Sri Lanka and he still holds his name for the most popular film Suryarana in the history of Sri Lankan cinema. He has been awarded with so many national and international awards, and among those include the Peace Prize of Chicago International Children's Film Festival and Bronze Award for Independent Theatrical Feature Film at World Fest House Top for his debut film Saroja.
First of all, sir, how are you?
I'm okay, despite the corona and the other threats. I'm glad to be with you all, these lovely faces. Of course, I know that you all are university students, so it is our duty to help you and educate you and inform you whatever the knowledge we have. So I'm happy to join you with you all, darlings.
That's great to hear, sir. What's keeping you busy these days? Are you working on any film these days?
Yes, in fact, despite all these the health factors and the other security problems, I am getting prepared for my new film. But I'm not sure whether I'll be able to carry on with as I predict and as I prepare. Despite I don't know how the country and the world change during next couple of months to come. If the things goes okay, and if this situation don't get worse than this, I am planning to start my new film. I'm in the shooting stage somewhere in February next year. I have already finished and completed the initial stages. That means the script and the locations, the main cast, and the other primary preparations, everything is ready. Everything is the surrounding and the world and health situations didn't change. I mean, maintain this situation. I am ready to start shooting of my film in next February.
Yes, sir. True, the situation is very uncertain these days, but then we are eagerly waiting to see our next film becoming very successful. And sir, you're a screenwriter, a director, and a producer. You have directed many award-winning, record-breaking films which have been of both artistic and commercial success. You still, in
Yes,
fact, hold the record for the most popular film, Surya Arana, in the history of Sri Lankan cinema, which is one of my personal
yes,
favorites. And
yes,
despite that hard work that goes into it, majority of the audience only see that output of your work, which is always fantastic, but they are not aware of the process that goes behind the screen. Is it possible for you to brief us about it?
yes. I mean, doing a film is something like giving birth to a child, you know. So there are a lot of preparations and a lot of knowledge you required, and a lot of assistance with the others, a lot of coordinations and cooperations. And I mean, if you go to the creative side of the film, a lot of intellectual involvements are there. The first stage is to get the script ready. You have to get the script ready and the concept. Once the writer get the concept of the production, then he or she should do the initial research works to bring that as a complete script. So that is the initial stage. Once the script is ready, after the research and the other informations required for the script, I mean, you know, the different people do that in a different way. Some people don't do any research and any information or anything, is just right. But if it is going to be a successful script, there are a lot of researchers and a lot of sacrifice and a lot of devotions towards a successful script. Once the script is ready for shooting, I can say you are almost 65% of the film is complete. That means
Mhm,
the main structure and the base is the script. If the
mhm,
script is ready, you are almost 65% or 70% of the film is ready. Only thing is, you have to put that into practice just to show it to the others. Otherwise,
mhm,
everything is in the script writer's mind. He has already seen the film.
mhm,
I mean, not with the naked eyes, but mentally he has imagined and he knows the film. Then comes to the pre-production stage. Pre-production stage is also very heavy. That is where I am with my new film. Once this stage is got ready, and then comes the most important stage, that is shooting schedule. After the shooting schedule comes the post-productions. Whatever the material you shot in the film reel those days, now everything is digital anyway, it's in the digital format. You have to take them into a studio and edit them. Then the film is almost ready. Then maybe you have to do dubbing sometimes, you may have to add music into it, and you have to do color changes. The coloring stage is different, and the special effects sometimes you have to need. You need, and in case of, for an example, we take my last film, Tsunami. I had to create the tsunami wave because I mean, so they are as from the visual treatment we call the special effects. We created such things. There are new VFX shots, and we have to merge everything together and get the final film ready. And you do preview, and then we have to. The film is ready for release. Then we have to then it comes to the commercial stage. You have to go through some legal procedures. You have to go through these, and then film is ready for the audience. You release the film, and then you face the consequences after that.
So it's a very lengthy and a process with lot of stages,
Yes,
which is like a very collective effort of everyone, and most importantly, it should be led by the competent, skillful directors and producers. After all this effort, it mostly depends on the popularity, how the public likes, how much the public likes it. It also affects your financial strength and also your career. Which strategies do you use to maintain this popularity throughout?
Well, the popularity of the film is not a thing that you can gain by adding certain things. You know, sometimes the people use popular actors
Yeah.
and the stars and the glory and the attraction of the artists are used as a commercial aspect of the film to just
Yeah.
attract the audience. There's a fact and there's a true, and there are certain attraction that you can gain by selecting the popular actors and actresses. But in my film, I have removed this factor and I am not caring about the popularity. My
Mhm.
concern is the content of the film.
Mhm.
What you give to the audience
Mm.
is my main focus. I never depend on the publicity, popularity, and the glory and the brightness of the stars performing the characters is not a factor for my attractions.
Mm.
Sometimes I take new children who know nothing about the film, who have never faced a camera, no name. I mean, they are not popular actors and actresses, but
Like in the film
they
Tsunami.
become popular actors and
Yeah.
actresses
Yeah.
after doing the film. And
Yeah.
even
Like
for
in the film Tsunami.
even for the
Yeah.
film Tsunami,
Yeah.
the main characters are done by not very popular actors. I mean, Bimal
Mm.
Jayakot is there,
Mm.
and Himali Sairang is there. That the other lady who is doing the Tamil mother's character, Niranjani
Mm.
Shamgaraja, and she's not
Yeah.
a popular actress.
Yeah.
But she is an actress. She can act. And
Yeah.
also the Tamil father, Darshan Dharmaraj. He's not a sort of a popular actor, but he's actor. He's a very creative actor. Then, so I selected them not just because they are popular and they have a crowd attraction, because they are capable of doing the character and they are suitable for the character.
Mhm.
And the children like that, and all the other the supporting characters are the same. I selected them just because, not because they are popularity, because they suit for the characters, and I am sure that they can do justify to the characters. That is how I do. Other attractive things is, I think the attraction of the film mainly depend on the total content of the film,
Mm.
then cinematic values of the film. And
Mm.
a director should be aware, and he should have a thorough knowledge of the cinematic language. So I mean, he should be a person with some sort of knowledge, at least the basic knowledge. Whereas if you don't have any special knowledge on certain departments, certain sections, then you have to get experts to advise you.
Mm.
A director should have a basic knowledge of everything, but he should have a basic knowledge, and he should get experts to help him from different departments.
Mm.
And if you select all these factors together, and if your storyline and your treatment and how you get your actors to perform, and if you use the proper music, everything has to be in the proper and the absolute correct way. Then the attraction of the film is higher. If you don't, if you don't sacrifice and devote your film, if you don't give the best into the production, and if you just to manage just to do a film and earn some money, it'll never work.
So, sir, now we are in a pandemic situation, and it is a very difficult time for all of us, and even the film industry is affected by that. Even
Yes,
the tsunami broadcasting got halted because of this, if I say that, is it correct?
yes. Tsunami ran for about 1 month, and it
Mm-hmm.
came to the peak of the popularity.
Yeah.
Actually, the tsunami started running with packed houses, houseful shows. And
Yeah.
my films normally the procedure and the way of my popularity is, I increase the popularity gradually from the release date to 1 month time. It will come up gradually, because
Mm-hmm.
the popularity increased by word of mouth. The people who have seen the film spread. They are the best publicity material for me. Not the newspapers, not the television, not the social media. The people themselves are my best publicity material. If the content is good, if the product is good, the people seeing the film will start talking in the open society, and the people, of course, the other people get attracted into it. So that happened to Tsunami. It happened to all of my films from Saroja. The same thing happened because gradually, the day by day, the popularity increases, and about 1 month's time, it normally it come to the peak of the popularity. The same thing happened to Tsunami. Unfortunately, Tsunami is caught in Corona, so so I had to suffer. Yes.
Sir, now these days, is it possible for you to shoot films and carry out those shooting activities, directing activities as it was before the pandemic situation?
Yes, under the health guidelines and the conditions and the precautions, you can do that. That
Yeah.
is available to the films and the dramas and stage plays, all these entertainment field, even the musical shows. You can do as you have been doing, but the only difference is you have to follow the guidelines of the health and the security departments. Under those restrictions, you can at the moment.
Oh.
I don't know. By tomorrow or next week, it might change because the situation in the country is not getting better. It is getting worse, I think, unfortunately. But at this moment, yes, you can under the guidelines.
Then after the pandemic situation, the situation the situation will get normalized once again, do you think? Or are you planning to use any online platforms such as Netflix or iFlix in that case? And do you think like these online platforms can do justice to the audience as much as in a cinema, them watching the film in a cinema hall?
No, you can't substitute. You can't substitute a cinema hall to the alternative ways of viewing films. But
Yeah.
that is an alternative system only.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the theater screening of the film is the real cinematic enjoyment and entertainment and the feelings. You will never get that theater feelings in your computer or in your television.
Yeah.
But it is an alternative way. It's a. I mean, whereas we can't find the theater and whereas the theaters are closed, that is the next alternative, and it is good that it is available. Of course, um, I don't think the corona situation will ease within next few couple of months, or it
Mm-hmm.
might go into years. We don't know. We can't predict that. But as the way it is going on, so we can't expect very quick solutions, and in couple of months time I don't think the world will come to normal. We
Yeah.
have to learn to live with this. I think that is
Yeah.
what we all have to do.
Mhm.
We have to get used to the system. We know there's a virus, there's a threat, there's a danger. Knowing that, we have to learn how to live with it. Same thing goes to the cinema. We know
Yeah.
there's a threat. Cinema is a place that where people get together and people get congested, and within the health limits guidelines, keeping the distance, wearing the mask, sanitizing the hands, and washing your hands, and following all these advices, we have to carry on cinema also. Maybe
Mhm.
in Sri Lanka, they closed down it for a couple of months and they reopened. After reopening the theaters, it didn't work very well.
Mhm.
So people are reluctant to go to the
Uh,
theaters, and they got that fear anyway. Especially for my films, not only the single people, the whole couple, whole family comes. Sometimes the school children come in hundreds and thousands. The children are coming, the families are coming, so they are a bit reluctant to go into the public places. So I am the person who is worst affected, I think, in Sri Lankan cinema during the COVID situation. Including me, I'm not the only person, but I am the person who is affected mostly because I have taken a challenge by spending a lot for the tsunami. Tsunami is my most expensive film. I have spent about
Of all time.
about I think I spent about 4 times than an average film to produce Tsunami with all the special effects creating Tsunami and different locations and then be very big cast and very lengthy shooting period. Everything is there,
Yeah.
and but I did that with very confident that I become successful in the film. It
Mm.
went very well too. Actually, it went very successfully. Unfortunately, the situation happened, so we have to face it. We'll hope and
Yeah.
see. Now, the other part of your question,
Mhm.
the other alternative ways of
Yeah.
screening the film. Yes, I believe in that anyway.
Yeah.
That is the other alternative for people to watch the films when the theaters are closed. I
Mhm.
also planning to
Mhm.
these days. Of course, my other films are in the net. They are in platforms. If you search the net, you can find my other films.
Mhm.
Yeah, to Tsunami, or except Tsunami, all the other films are there, including my last film, Sarigama. Is also
Uh-huh.
there. So, so that is the other way of dealing with the cinema, depending on the situation. So I
Mhm.
think that will happen to Tsunami also. I'm
Mhm.
thinking of creating my own platform. I'm working on now
Mhm.
because there are the people who especially search for my films
Uh-huh.
nationally and internationally. So I think a separate platform for my productions will be successful. And not only films, so I have teledramas, I have musical songs, I have short films, I have television programs. There are a lot of things. Even I can create separate films, especially for the platform purposes.
Mhm.
So I believe
Yes.
in that anyway. One day that will happen.
Yes. Adaptability is always important to survive.
Yeah,
And
we have to, of course, So I mean, the good part of that is once you release a film in a internet platform, the whole world can see that.
mhm.
If you release the film in the theater, the people around the theater only can enjoy it. But other than that, I think the OTT platforms is the best alternative and the only alternative at the moment for the world cinema.
So with that said, do you think that government should be giving special assistance to the directors or the film industry? And
Government
also
should
the
do that.
full-time artists, what kind of policies do you think that government should implement to protect this industry?
Yes, that's a very good political question. So I have to give you a political answer to that.
Yes,
Government
if
should
you
give
like only, sir.
before that.
Yeah.
Government should give assistance to not only the films, to all the
Yeah.
artists. The
Mm-hmm.
art is a field where the thinking power, the intellectual power, and the human feelings, everything is created by artists. Not only through films. Film is only one media of art. The literature, the music, the dancing, the drawings, the paintings, everything is there. That is art. And film is a stage plays, and film is the most sophisticated and most technical media out of all those art forms. But the government should accept that the art form is an essential part of the society. Art is important
Yes.
for day-to-day life of the people. But the unfortunate thing is our governments, they don't think art is so important thing for the society. Artists,
Mm.
they need artists just for the election period to take an artist and like the bouquet of flowers on the stage, they need artists during that time. After the election, after they win or lose, they don't care about artists in Sri Lanka. That is exactly what is happening. Cinema is an orphan child now at the moment in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Government has no involvement, even they don't talk with us. So there was a paper article on this topic last week written by me, and that is an unfortunate situation. I think if there's a cultural department, there's a cultural minister, and there are different cooperation. There's a thing called film cooperation in Sri Lanka, but they are very silent and they don't even talk to us and they don't even ask what
Mm.
should we do to uh, get the cinema survive and to answer our problems and what sort of inconvenience we are going through, so there's nothing like that. So that is unfortunate. So I have to make that comment because you asked that question. The
Yes.
situation in Sri Lanka is politicians and the government. I am not blaming only the present government, even the past governments are the same. No government has treated art as an important segment of the society, but it is a very important segment in the society.
True,
So
sir.
that
I
is an
agree with you on
unfortunate
that.
thing.
So, at this situation, so it's difficult to predict the long-term plans that you have right now, right, sir? The
No,
long-term.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know what will happen. But I mean, just ignoring whatever will happen tomorrow or
Yeah.
in weeks or months' time. I
Yeah.
am carrying on my normal things. So at this moment, um, my new creation, of course. So I am talking to actors. I am
Yeah.
talking to my other assistants, my cameraman, my set designer, my costume, and my makeup artist, and also I am visiting the locations. So I am just carrying on as normally, just ignoring the threat. I am carrying on. Once the situation come worse and block me, so I will stay there and have a pause. And once it is open again, I might go and carry on working. Otherwise, it will never work. No, I
Yeah,
can't
that's
be
it.
locked down in my room, and so I can't just ignore myself.
Yes, that's very brave, I think, to be to be challenging to the present challenges that is challenging you. So my last question for you, as a pioneer in the film industry, what advice do you have for the fellow directors, producers, and others in the film industry during and when recovering from this pandemic situation in the future?
My advice is, if you want to do something artistic, be in touch with that particular field. If you like to be a cinema creator, if you want to be a film director, start seeing more good movies, select the good films and start watching the films. If you want to be a musician, you listen to the creation of the other musicians. There are a lot of things nationally and internationally. Whatever, if you want to be a writer, keep on reading first before write. And there are children who are very good in writing. There are good in music, good in dancing, good in film work. I have seen many short films and experimental films of the students. I'm really surprised to see sometimes their creativity. My advice is, don't worry about the other assistants and the government and the politicians and the seniors. You keep on keep in touch with the field, and you will learn by yourself. At least one day you will be able to make your dreams true by entering the field in some form of way. Because I mean, I don't say that you can go and shoot a film and become a film director all of the sudden. But one day you can, if you have the aim, if you know that you can, keep that in your mind and start being in touch with the field. Keep on associating the creators and the creations nationally and internationally. You learn by experience. That is very important. And keep on writing. Of course, this pandemic situation, we can't go here and there freely, but make it as a blessing. This is what I am doing now.
That's a great advice and a very timely one, I think. So, sir, that's all my questions for you today. And a very special thank you for accepting our request so humbly within a very short time period and making time for us amidst your busy schedule. And we also want to wish you and your beloved wife best of luck in your future endeavors, and that you will continue to have the strength, wealth, and the well being to bestow the Sri Lankan cinema industry with many more amazing award winning record breaking films. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of my colleagues as well.
I am also really glad to speak to you all. I can see some lovely faces on the screen. Maybe anytime you talk to me, we are here for you all anyway. You all are our children and you should learn by us. And we are willing to do whatever we can for the younger generation, especially for the students like you all. And thank you for contacting me. And anytime, don't hesitate to contact me for any other further information later on.
Thank you so
We are
much.
there for you.
Thank you so much, sir.